currently 12:40 at night, and I was sitting on a chair outside, and I was just thinking about life. I was thinking about, you know, wanting to be a content creator, wanting to make it big, and I was like, fuck it, why don't I make a video about it and just talk about life and sort of where I'm at and shit. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, this video idea kind of started from a place of just like, I've been watching this guy make videos, and half the time what he'll do is he'll just like boot up a recording session, and he'll just start talking about like life and shit, and I'm like, that is such a creative way of like staying motivated in a sense. It's like talking about like booting up and just like talking about your feelings is one of those things that I don't think is ever gonna get stale for a creator, because it's always about them, and they're always inherently going to be passionate about themselves, if that makes sense. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think a lot of YouTube creators will make videos and they don't really feel passionate about what they're making. And I think that bleeds through into the authenticity of their content. And I think that's probably, for me, the main thing. As in like a creative outlet, is like authenticity. I think when people are making things that they're not passionate about, they lose this sort of spark that they wouldn't have lost if they just sort of stayed true to themselves. And it's such an easy trap to fall into, because it's like, if you're making stuff and it's getting views, obviously you're gonna want to keep making that stuff. And like, you don't just like lose the motivation to do something in like a single day. Like, it's something that's a slow burn over time, and I think it can also be really hard to realize that, hey, my heart is just not in it anymore, if you know what I'm saying. And you might be thinking, oh god, Snowy's just talking about how he's not doing Origin speedruns anymore. But it's actually kind of a little bit the opposite, actually. Where it's like, I am actually quite passionate about Origin speedruns. And like, I've always kind of said to myself, like, if I get like the world record on Origins is like such a big goal for me. I've never really stopped enjoying doing the speedrunning, but I think it's also just like, it's such a bad way of making content, and if you're trying to grow a Twitch channel. I've talked about this on stream quite a bit. Like, doing speedrunning, unless you are playing a game that is huge, such as like Minecraft or, you know, GTA 5 or something like that, it is not good, consistent content for things like YouTube. And so I kind of fell into a trap of like, I just wanted to get the world record. It was like the only thing I had on my mind. And I think that's kind of what made me capitulate a little bit, in the sense of like, I definitely could have gotten the world record, you know, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, where I was pretty much the only one running. and then Scotty came in and like it was his first Black Ops 2 speedrun he ever done, and he sniped it, and that was like the most gut-wrenching feeling I think I've probably ever had in my entire life. And it put me in this mindset of just kind of like, dude, I just cannot do it. The world is against me, the universe is against me, it doesn't want me to achieve this goal. And it was such a bad mindset to have, because coming back, like, I know I have kind of stopped speedrunning now for the most part, but when I did come back and like do the mob speedrun, and it was after quite a long break, I came into it with this mindset of just like, it's not about getting the world record, it's not about being the best player, it's about every day you're gonna go in and you're gonna improve. I think it was a lot easier to do that without the pressure of like obtaining this, you know, long sword goal, and racing against other people, and instead doing it for yourself. And I think that's sort of the key to life. It's just like, if you're wanting to do something, you should do it for yourself, if that makes sense. I think it's the key to content creation as well, and not so much become like a huge content creator, because a lot of huge content creators I don't think are as true to themselves as I think a lot of smaller content creators are. But I think the smaller content creators make videos that are a little bit more catered to certain individuals, and for those certain individuals, they are truly special. You know what I mean? Like if you're passionate about what you're creating, it might not be the most popular thing to ever exist, but it's gonna resonate with the people that do care about the same things as you so much more than, let's say, if you were just doing something because it's really popular. And I think that's the goal that I always want to try and keep in the front of my mind going forward. It's just like, don't fall for the trap of like making shit for the sake of making shit, because it's never, especially for me, who I feel like I've always kind of struggled with motivation. I think it's something that like takes the soul out of takes the soul out of someone, you know what I mean? If you're not being true to yourself. Anyway, this stemmed from sort of like thinking, because it's like, I don't know what I actually am passionate about, you know what I mean? I really like music. I don't know if you guys seen the drum set behind me, but I get quite a few comments about it. I'm really quite passionate about music. I'm quite passionate about collaborations. I think like when I did the 1v1 collaboration with Slushy and Cancel, in my opinion, that shit did not go well whatsoever in terms of being a good watch. But I also had like probably close to the most fun on a stream during that. Anyway, that's why I did boot up Risk of Rain, funnily enough, is because the music in this game is spectacular. I don't really have anywhere else to go with this, so I'm gonna just end it there.